Don't scratch your eyes. I really have made this signing. Jude Bellingham, Guernsey central midfielder. Not available to play in today's Champions League game, unfortunately, but for those that were criticising me saying I haven't been signing experience, consider you're listened to or something. I mean, look, it's going to look good in the thumbnail, isn't it? And he wasn't the only Wonder Kid we've signed, because Benjamin Sesko has also joined us, aged 34. Look, I needed a backup striker. Diallo's left the club. Sesko needs to hit the woodwork for us so we hit our kind of targets when it comes to woodwork abuse. It's been a busy January transfer so far. Few transfers still potentially going in and out. And today, Leipzig away, European away day. Oh, let's get into things. Yes, folks, how is it going? Welcome back to Parts of Prem. Today we are back, and today we have a chance, I believe, with the new Champions League format, to secure ourselves a spot in the second knockout round, maybe. I still don't understand this format. What I do know is that we're in third place. We've got a European away day over in Germany, and there's a pretty good chance if we get a win in it, we're going to be in a spot where we can breathe easy with a game to spare. Now, as you've already seen in the intro, as you can see in the top right, January transfer window's open. We've been making the most of the window being open. We're throwing stuff out the window, pulling some stuff through the window. And in terms of stuff we're pulling through, Jude Bellingham, £9.5 million. Did I need Jude Bellingham? Not really. But can we all agree that for a 34-year-old, he's still really, really good? His media description is world-class midfielder. I feel like it's a bit of a statement signing as much as anything. He signed a 2.5-year deal at the club. He has spent the last, well, forever playing for Bayern Munich. I choose to believe after he beat Bayern in the Champions League, he just decided he wanted to move clubs, which, I mean, it's fair enough. On his debut, he was involved in play. Unfortunately, as I've already mentioned, can't register him for the Champions League. Elsewhere, Diallo has left the club this transfer window. We needed a backup striker of sorts, and when Benjamin Sesko was available for less than £2 million, I decided to sign Benjamin Sesko. Now, yes, he is 34, but I do feel like he is still a very, very good player, super consistent performer, and what he lacks in pace, I feel like he's going to make up for in physicality. If we need a big, beefy striker to throw on to hold up the play a little bit, I think he can do that job for us, and you can see here, in the last couple of seasons for Dortmund, while his goal output has slowed down, for £2 million, you can't really be mad. So those are the signings that we've made. In terms of transfers out, there's not been a load going on besides what we've already discussed last episode. Ganino left, of course, for Al-Shabaab. Diallo left for 37 million. Dani Lopez-Gonzalez moved to Schalke for £10.25 million. Still feel like that's a really good deal for this backup wing-back option. And elsewhere, whilst there has been a couple of players leave the club out on loan, nothing of real significance. I suppose the one transfer that I want to talk about is Dale Davidson. We've not talked about Dale Davidson in a while, and in fact, before we go into the Leipzig game today, I do want to take a moment just to run through the youth team and how things are looking. But Dale here joined the club through a youth intake. I was so excited about him, and he's been crap. He's not developed in any of the years he's been at the club. We trained him to play centre-back. We trained him to play defensive mid. At some point, he learnt to play right mid as well. I don't understand what the under-23s manager is doing, but I digress. He's just been a bit of a flop. I mean, the fact that right now he's on loan in League 2 really says it all. I'm sad. Another product of a youth intake that's gone out on loan here is Luke Watch. You might remember him. He's an okay player, but as with a lot of the players that come through our youth intake, they just don't have the Premier League quality. It's kind of unfortunate. We're at a spot now where to be good enough to break into our first team, you've got to be rather good at football. And I suppose in a roundabout way, that brings us on to the subject of Leon Pollard. I want to love Leon Pollard. Born in Guernsey, 7 caps England's under-21s, but he has not developed in a little while. You look at his potential ability, it's not really there. He's not playing in the first team anymore. He's about to turn 21 next month, and Benfica bid £28.5 million for this guy. Is this man worth £28.5 million? I don't think he is, and for that reason, I think I'm going to sell him, although I haven't confirmed the transfer yet. You have got a chance right now to go down in the comments and plead for me to keep him. But ultimately, we are a team with lots and lots of talented centre-backs. Pollard is an okay backup, but if he leaves the club, my plan of attack would be to bring it back Sebastian Dabelstein-Flegard, and he will become a squad player for us. If we just compare him with Pollard here, you can see how the two shape up. Sebastian is clear. So elsewhere in the youth team, like I already mentioned, do want to give a little bit of a roundup. Alexander Kovacevic, I don't know where he's meant to play. Everton have played him everywhere while he's been on loan with them, making plenty of appearances off the bench, a handful of starts as well, has shown some reasonable signs of development. Really, it's good to see him just getting some regular first-team football in the Premier League. We'll keep a close eye on his development. As things stand right now, I probably still would be looking to sell him in the summer. Speaking of loan players, we should talk about Jan Volashak here. The 21-year-old out on loan at Valencia hasn't really improved during his loan spell. I feel like at this point we will be cashing in on him in the summer. I don't think he's going to make the first team. Can't say we haven't really given him a chance to reach the first team either. He has played a lot for us in the Premier League, had a loan in the Championship. La Liga was a chance, I guess, for him to make or break his career. And I hate to say it, but with the high standards we have in our first team, he's just not it. You might remember Steve McDonald from last year's youth intake. Been trying to train him to not argue with officials. He still wants to argue with officials. He hasn't really shown a great deal of development so far in his time at the club. A little bit of a cause for concern. But he is still only 16, so we're not going to panic too much just yet. Anyway, with that little recap done of the squad, of some of the stuff that's been going on in terms of transfers in and out, let's talk matches. We have played 6 games since you were last here, and 6 games since that heroic doubleheader last time out. The results here, rather impressive. 6-0 against Sunderland, Alanis grabbed 5. We then scored 6 again for a second game in a row. This time Alanis could only get 2. Pathetic. Elsewhere, Diallo did score 2 goals in his final ever game for the club. After that, you can see here a win against Brighton. Again, Elias getting on the score sheet. If he was unhappy last episode about the fact I'm not giving him a pay rise, he's really trying to make a case for the fact he should get a pay rise. His end to the month of December was absolutely bonkers. As for the month of January, you can see here it started off with a winning start against Middlesbrough. Cadman, the all-important goal scorer. We then took on Liverpool in the FA Cup. This was a great game for Jude Bellingham. It was his first game for the club. Stuck him in as that kind of deeper regista. Goal and an assist. And this was actually his first ever game. He came to the club a couple of days before. We brought him into the first team. You can see here, involved early on. Scored within the first 20 minutes, and he would get an assist for our second goal, and our second goal of the first half. It was another really nice goal, this one. Bellingham playing the ball forward, Cadman in, gets in behind, composed finish. We made it 2 with that goal there. Liverpool did get a goal back, but ultimately we held on for the win, and most recently 4-0 against Blackburn. We got over our bogey team. Kind of. Bellingham got an assist in this game for Lemos, who grabbed 2. Elsewhere, Chapman managed to grab 2 assists as well. So he went out with the 4-2-3-1, of course, against weaker opposition. And as you can see, it went rather well. And actually, with that recent string of results, we have pulled away towards the top of the Premier League. Not only is our goal difference shot up with those 6 goal games, but just the points gap has also started to grow. Liverpool have dropped a few points here and there. We're 12 points clear of them. We have played a game more. Elsewhere, you can see, since Arsenal lost to ourselves, they have gone on to lose to Liverpool in a big battle at the top. And suddenly, out of nowhere, the likes of Chelsea and Man City have appeared. But at least right now, things look great. You can see here, looking at top goal scorers, Lemos is the 4th top goal scorer. Cadman is joint 2nd. Alanis is top goal scorer. When you have 3 of the top 4 goal scorers in the league, things are going quite well. Like I already mentioned as well, we did beat Liverpool in the FA Cup. I did consider doing that in this episode, but given the fact we played them just yesterday, I figured we didn't need to see Liverpool again. In terms of in the next round, we have been drawn against West Ham. That is a game we will expect to win. And speaking of games we expect to win, that brings us on nicely to this game against Leipzig. They are currently 29th out the 36 Champions League teams. If they want to make it through to the next stage, they need to win against us here. As for ourselves, we're currently in 3rd place. When you look at the teams we've already played, Atleti, Roma, there are lots of teams immediately around us, actually, that we've already played. It's looking more and more like that kind of set of games that we had was actually quite a difficult run of games where we did manage to get results. And because of that, we are in 3rd. We are going well. And as you can see here, 2nd top goal scorers in this stage of the competition. Bizarrely, Real Madrid, who have scored 19, only conceded 6, find themselves in 14th. It's not like Real Madrid to not do well in the Champions League, though, is it? I don't know if that joke's going to age well or not, because I've recorded this episode before the Champions League semi-final, but I don't know. Congrats, Man City or Real Madrid fans, for winning the Champions League semi-final. Anyway, on to the away day. So for today's away day, we are heading over to Germany for the first time. It has just dawned on me, we've not yet played in France. That'll be very, very convenient when we do, because it's so close. As for Leipzig, I don't know where Leipzig is. Does anyone know where Leipzig is? Oh, it's here. I found it. Didn't look very hard. Now, the real question here is, where is the RB Arena? I could Google it. I could just cheat. This isn't the right stadium, is it? Let's have a look at it on satellite view anyway. I mean, if we do Parts of Prem German edition, maybe we'll end up here. I have found the stadium. It's the big-looking stadium. Here it is. Not seeing a lot of car parking, but in terms of the path around the edge, the grass, is that a church? There is a church next to the ground. So when we beat Leipzig, all the players from the Leipzig team can go there to repent. I mean, this is a first for an away day. They've got a discus area and what I assume is javelin. I shot put over here, maybe. I'm running out of field sports where you throw stuff. I don't know what else they could be. I've noticed as we come up to these bigger teams in Europe, they all like to have their tennis courts, don't they? And the athletics track like next to the stadium. Here it is happening again. And also, they've got a little futsal five-a-side bit, basketball courts as well, and beach volleyball. The Germans love their beach volleyball. Is that a stereotype I've just made up? Potentially. I don't know a lot about this stadium. I assume this stadium was probably purpose-built for Leipzig. Which way is the stadium? Is this the stadium? Is this parking to the stadium? It doesn't look like a stadium. I've definitely dropped my thing on the right spot, haven't I? Maybe we're just really far away. I think this is the stadium, you know? Is there any, like, Google Street View bits near here? Oh, someone has got a photosphere in a tree. I mean, this is going to serve us well. It hasn't served us well. I don't want to look at the stadium yet because it's behind me. I'm showing a lot of restraint here. How's the roof? Roof's good, right? We're going to turn around in a moment. But first, I did notice that on the pitch, they've gone nuts with the Google Street View van. So I feel like just going to the centre circle to start is a good spot to start. Here is the stadium. I didn't know what to expect coming to it. I mean, the pattern on the seats is cool, but it doesn't really scream Red Bull or Leipzig. I mean, it's not even Leipzig colours, is it? I assume this stadium probably predates the football club being big. I say being big, obviously. Red Bull bought the club, I think, when they're in the third tier. And I think technically it's not Red Bull Leipzig, it's like Rasenballspor Leipzig, because there's rules against having sponsor names or something. German viewers, you can let me know. I know that RB Leipzig aren't particularly well loved for how they kind of game the system with the 51 or 50+1 rule. Okay, interesting. January 2023, they updated the seats. They also made a steward headless, and now it looks way, way better, the seats. So I take back everything I've just said, and also the red lighting. It's very, very villain, isn't it? Very Disney villain, the lighting. Quite fitting, really, for this football club. I think this is outside the stadium, so I guess you go through it. I mean, this looks like it's for some kind of concert or something, but I guess this is one of the entrances to the stadium. Does the stadium just have like a big park on the inside that's walled? Do you go through the gates here and then you're in the stadium or something? I have many questions. I will say I do like this design of just having a big path around the edge with lots of staircases up. It's kind of a shame there's not any photospheres where we can enjoy it more. I mean, can we enjoy it from this one? No. I do really like the park setting. I just wish we could enjoy it more in Street View, but there really isn't any dots that kind of show it off. I mean, does this one show? I guess this shows off a little bit more. Like, it's kind of a cool layout for a stadium, like in this hill. Originally, I thought it was on the hill, but it's actually set down into the ground. I think that makes it cooler. Also, there is just a car park under the stadium, which we can actually see evidence of. How do I feel about this stadium? I know I'm meant to sit here and just hate on this stadium and say it's bad, but it is quite a nice stadium. Now, is it a little bit soulless modern stadium? Maybe a little bit, but as we saw with the updated seating, it looked pretty cool. Even here in 2022, where they got halfway through putting in red seats, it looks cool. I love the design of it being in kind of a big green area as well. Oh, I hate that I like it. I came here not wanting to like it, and I'm leaving annoyed. Okay, the Red Bull Arena. I mean, I like Carabao Energy drink more than Red Bull, and I like Sneak Energy more than them both. What do I score it? It's a cool stadium. I really like the stadium. It's annoying how much I like the stadium. Lacks a car park. Didn't have a load of footage immediately outside the ground, which was a bit disappointing, but it is quite unique. I'm going to give it 7.5 out of 10. This might be the most controversial away day score since I gave MK Dons a good score. I know some people still mention that in the comments. I'm sorry, it's a good stadium. Even if you don't like the football club, we can appreciate the stadia. Okay, away day in the bag. I do quickly just want to acknowledge Frank Lampard is Leipzig manager. Yeah, Frank Lampard in this save game. He's had a great career. He was sacked as England manager, resigned from Everton after many years at Everton, you know, unlike in real life. And then he got hired by Leipzig 2 years ago. He's still here now. He's not won anything. In terms of Leipzig's key man, it is Francis Naughty here, who, I'll tell you what, he's a very naughty player. Look how good he is. This is filthy. And in fact, looking at their team, they have got a handful of really, really good players. I'm somewhat surprised they are struggling as much as they are. Sammy Rutten here, I believe, came runner-up a few years ago in the under-21 Player of the Year, and I've had him on my shortlist since. I'd love to sign him, not for £104 million, but he is very, very good. And they've also got the centre-back Joe, who I think used to play for Bournemouth. Indeed, he did. They signed him from Bournemouth for £52 million. So, yeah, don't be deceived. This Leipzig team do have quality, and right now, they are second in the Bundesliga, only 3 points behind Bayern Munich. Now, for all the people that complain when I don't have a goalkeeper on the bench, it's your lucky day. With players leaving and the fact I can't register new arrivals, both Francisco and Rob Carlton make appearances on the bench today. In terms of the actual starting 11, we are just about at full strength. I say just about, it's not true. Daniel Archer got injured again. I know what you're thinking, chat. This is getting bad now, isn't it? Yeah, he missed 7 weeks already as of last episode. Has played amazing when he's fit. He's currently injured for another 3 weeks. So, big thumbs up. That's another 4 weeks of the season. He has right now missed over 2.5 months of this season that we've signed him for. When he plays, he's immense. He keeps getting injured. I mean, good news for Rojas. You're in at right back, son. Welcome back to the first team. Elsewhere, though, the team is at full strength. One little thing to note is fitness is a little lacking across the board. The fixture schedule has been pretty packed as of late because we're in so many different competitions. That doesn't change here, but despite the fact this game perhaps should be one that's more in the bag when you look at where Leipzig are, despite the fact that we are in a good position in the Champions League, I don't feel in a situation where we can rotate things around. I want to go out, I want to play full strength, I want to really try and take this game to Leipzig, away from home, getting aggressive here, not playing the free centre-back system, hoping that bravery/stupidity is going to be rewarded. Throwing on the near side, Joe, does he have a long throw? I didn't check his long throw stats. It's not the first thing you look at with players. He looked like he launched it there. Coppo clears it half away from danger. Ame at the back for them is already suffering with a little bit of a knock. I might tell Alanis just to stand on Ame's shoulders. Not physically, I mean stand next to him. If he was to stand on Ame's shoulders, probably gets a red card. They're on the attack here. Penner, back post, headed back across goal. Wilford has not done well there. 2 minutes into this game, we're a goal down. In terms of not good starts for a Champions League match, this is definitely in the very not good category. Yeah, it's not great. I'm not sure what Wilford's done there. We're a goal down. I'm trying to find a positive at this moment in time. Good news, Leipzig have also got a couple of players struggling with fitness. So it's not just us struggling. That said, we're a goal down. I'm going to get shouty immediately. I'm going to get angry. I'm going to get mean. I'm going to hope for a response early on here. I can already hear the clicking away of a mechanical keyboards telling me, you should have played the three at the back system here, Jack. You've not shown Leipzig respect. And maybe I haven't. I'll admit it. But there's a reason I've not. It's because we're massive. It's because I love Lemos. It's goal number 19 of the season for the Uruguayan. So far this season, Gianfi hasn't got as many assists as in previous years, but he popped up with one here at the left back, getting forward, lays it to Lemos, who has a lot to do with his back to goal. Really nice finish. Was a little bit scared for a moment there that Alanis might have been interfering from an offside position, but we've got away with it. Unfortunately, we might be on the back foot immediately. They've got a set piece. It's played forward. It's headed away from danger, but only as far as Rutten, who's making his way into the box. Lemos, though, the goal scorer, wins the ball back superbly. We've kind of got it half away from danger here, but, well, Leipzig still have the ball. They still have plenty of men committed to the attack, and it's now with Penner on this near side. Laying it back to Ame, who is struggling with that knock. Alanis hunting down the play, can, well, force an error out there, and now looking to hold up the play as he does best. Lays it to Coppo. Now with Rojas, Montero, Chapman. It's very, very nice build-up play here until, well, it isn't. And we lose the ball. Machado for them on the near side. The number 10 lays it back to Joe, who it actually looks like might be playing right back in this game. Machado, he's made it 2-1. Also, he's got the first name Lenny. I feel like I want my firstborn son to be called Lenny. Lenny's just a cool name. It's annoying on this occasion A member of the Lenny Alliance, appreciators of the name Lenny, has scored against us. Naughty plays it forward. Machado hits it. I'm not impressed with Wilford so far today. We have, however, got a chance to respond immediately. Coppo with the ball. The amount of times I say Coppo with the ball, he's always got the ball. He's always at the heart of any build-up play from the back. Wide with Gianfi. He plays it to Cadman, who timed his run well. Couple of players in the middle, including Lemos. Unfortunately, it's gone over the bar. So far in this game, there's been 3 shots on target. There's been 3 goals. It's been that kind of game. Every shot on goal has ended up in the back of the net. It's not exactly been a classic, although I suppose when you see goals, maybe it is a classic. But as a manager, not really the kind of game you want to see. Half an hour played here, away from home, a goal down. Rojas with the ball for us, the right back. Lays it forward to Chapman, inside Alanis. Lemos, is he onside? No. Half-time in this game, we're a goal down. It's not really been a classic. I'm going to tell the players, what was that? Get your act together. Like I already mentioned, we are missing a few players just because I couldn't re-register players in certain positions. That said, I feel like we've got the quality to bring on off the bench here. Chapman's not had a good game. I'm going to bring in Sula. Elsewhere, Cadman and Alanis are struggling, but I just feel like they're the kind of players you keep on and keep faith with. Montero's not having a particularly good game at Regista, so I'm going to bring in Alunga. Elsewhere, Coppo, I talked about him being reliable, has not been reliable in this game. Rojas isn't playing well, but my only other right-back option is Pedersen, who is, well, he's left-only-footedness. Do we just play him at right-back? You know what? You only live once. Pedersen, in at right-back, son. I'm resisting the urge at the moment, at least, to make Pedersen an inverted wing-back, cutting in on his left foot. Last year, I loved inverted wing-backs in Football Manager. I've not really used them as much this year. Throwing on this near side, Penner, who I believe is their left-back, has been involved in a lot in this game. He is one of their better players, a really attacking wing-back player for them. Unfortunately, in this game, he's had the beating of us, and, well, a lot of highlights have started with him. Another one has started with him here, and we could find ourselves in trouble, if not for Pacheco hitting it wide of the post. An hour played here, they have still got Ame on the pitch. Now, Ame is currently carrying an injury, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move Lemos and Alanis across, and I'm going to tell our players in possession to focus the play down the right-hand side. Which, you might think this is mental. If it works, I'm going to look like a genius. Their left centre-back is injured. Let's just stick 2 men on him. I don't want to get over-dramatic. Look at the XG. Look at the pissing XG. We've not hit the target enough, though, to be honest. I'm going to demand more. That'll make me feel better. Right now, I feel pretty hard done by to be behind, but we might have a chance here. Lemos with a free kick. I mean, Lemos has been the hero before. Can he be the hero again? The Uruguayan steps up. He hits it. Now, I'll tell you what, that's made the side netting ripple, but unfortunately, it's the wrong side of the post. 10 minutes left. I was getting ready to make some changes, but we'll let this set piece play out first. It is Lemos over it, whipping it to the back post. Rios is there. It's parried away, but Lautaro Rios, the time traveller, has hit the rebound in. He makes it 2-2. I'm going to claim that my tactical changes have somehow played a role there. Ultimately, though, we found a breakthrough in this game. Rios reacted faster to the second ball after the keeper made a really good save initially. And, well, he's going to be cursing his defenders. He might be cursing them even more if they were to concede another in quick succession. We have a kickoff highlight. Buckle up, get comfy. Keep your arms inside the vehicle at all times. Wait, no, that's a roller coaster. I mean, Football Manager's a roller coaster. Get ready. Raise your hands and scream if you don't do that. If you're watching this video in public, that would be a bit weird, wouldn't it? We might be screaming ourselves because they're through. I am screaming inside. It's 3-2 Leipzig. I want to get off RB Leipzig's wild ride. It's 3-2 here. I mean, it's not good defending. Coppo's not had a good day at the office. It's a good finish as well by Rutten. We were meant to beat this team easily. Instead, we're losing. We have still got some changes that we can make here. Tyrese Bignot, on you come. You're going to come in, mate, and you're going to play next to Alanis as another advanced forward. This is starting to look more and more ridiculous. I do fully appreciate that. Alunga, centre mid on attack. Gianfi, just wing back on attack on this side. What am I doing? At this point, I'm just drawing a pretty pattern. But can you blame me? It looks nice. Look at that. That is art. If we score in this next 5 minutes, tactical genius. If we concede, not my fault. The players are a bunch of donkeys. Wilford collects. Right, now we break. Remember the plan. Focus the play down the right-hand side. Down the right. Go right, Wilford. If you can't remember which hand's which, just hold your left. He's gone down the middle. I mean, it might work. Let's not knock it yet. Elunga, Bignot, fresh off the bench. I bought you one for this moment. And he scores it. I didn't think it was going in for a moment. Tyrese Bignot, it's 3-3. I don't know what's happening in this game. Sometimes you have chaotic games in Football Manager. This is one of those chaotic games. I want to believe there's another goal in this game with 4 minutes plus added time. It could happen. I feel like it's in the script. 2 minutes left plus any added time. There's going to be 4 minutes of it. There's a highlight. I was getting ready to shout words of encouragement. Am I going to regret not shouting those words sooner, or am I going to be glad that I didn't shout them? Grassa, Alunga switches it to Lemos. Look, we've got all these players on the right. Focus the play down the right. We've headed it forward. I think Bignot's offside. He's missed the target anyway. He was offside anyway. Let me shout words of encouragement. 4 minutes of added time. Is there to be another goal? There's not. I mean, as far as draws go, that's one that, in a weird way, I'm kind of happy with. We've come back from behind 3 times in that game. We've not won. We probably deserve to win, but it wasn't bad. I mean, Alunga, brought on at half-time, got man of the match, or at least best performer for us. So there's some positivity to take there. As for our position in the Champions League, we're in 5th. A load of English teams above us, annoyingly. Now, unfortunately, with that draw, we haven't secured ourselves a spot in the second knockout round. Our next game is against Lyon. It's a home game. I don't think I'm going to do it in an episode just because I don't have time to record it now and fit it into this video because I never planned on doing the Lyon game. Honestly, I thought we'd beat Leipzig. But what it does mean is that when we come back next time, we will know which round of the Champions League we're going to be in. We may well know who we're going to be playing as well, because when we look further ahead, we have got Arsenal and Liverpool back to back. I want to do a Liverpool away day at some point. We haven't got a whole lot of games in March and February yet. That will probably change though. All these fixtures will probably get moved around. So truth be told, I don't know what the plan is for Friday. You'll have to tune in tomorrow to find out. Today's episode has been chaotic on many different fronts. I would love to know, what do you think of the signings of Bellingham and Sesko? Do you think they're going to offer something to the first team? When it comes to Leon Pollard, am I right? Am I wrong to be selling him on? On the one hand, it's a player born and bred in Guernsey who's absolutely amazing for a player who's come through our academy. On the flip side, it's £28 million, and I've already got Flegard just chilling in the under-21s, who is a better centre-back who I can just recall from his loan to fill the Pollard spot. Answers on a postcard. Let me know what you think of that. Besides that is going to wrap up everything from me today. Hopefully you did enjoy today's episode. It was a fun one. It was a chaotic one. Hopefully tomorrow is a little bit calmer. I'll see you guys then for that.